Well, it's Labor Day weekend, so of course we're here laboring. Oh, that's not how that's supposed to work. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Corey. This is the Hill Custom Lumber YouTube channel. If you're wondering about that new introduction, if you noticed that last week, yeah, after a couple hundred videos, I changed it up. I had a customer / viewer that suggested I don't introduce myself enough. People don't actually know my name since I never say it, so I figured I'd change my introduction a little bit. I think that was a good suggestion. I'm always open to do things a little bit better. So it is the Saturday of Labor Day weekend. Don't feel too bad for me. I am taking the next 2 days off, but I usually work Saturdays. I'm a little behind, so I'm just trying to play catch up. Here my dad's chickens are all riled up over there. This week was just one of those weeks I just kind of felt like I was falling further and further behind. So I'm here playing catch up, getting some odds and ends done. I have a few customers coming and going today, so it's a beautiful day. Not a bad day to be working. Let me show you one of the things that set us back this week. You may have seen the short I posted about this. That's a brand new power pole and transformer. Why, you may ask? Well, if you saw the short, the other pole fell over. We had noticed the pole, which PPL told us was from 1947, which is actually extremely impressive that something could last that long in the ground. The last couple of weeks we noticed it was starting to lean slowly, ever so slowly it was starting to lean. So we called them and they came out and, yeah, we'll put you down to replace it probably sometime this fall. Well, then it started leaning more and we called again and they came out and looked at it and, well, the next day I was in the shop cutting flooring and the lights flickered and the saw shut off, and well, I walked out here and, well, look up the short. There was a power pole laying across this road here. Amazingly, it came down, did not rip any wires down from the building. It somehow caused no damage. I still cannot fathom how that happened. So long story short, I was out of power for most of the day, and well, that's a pretty big setback. But we got a shiny brand new pole and transformer there, so I'm back up and running, trying to play catch up a little bit. So I was already in here a little bit before I picked up the camera. Believe it or not, doing a little bit of tidying up. Got the old scrap 150 here loaded down. Don't mind those foxtails growing out of the back. If you don't have foxtails and stilt grass growing out of the back of your farm truck, well, you're not a redneck, sorry. But that's loaded down. I gotta get rid of that stuff. So just trying to make some room in the shop. I wasn't sure if I was gonna make a video today or not. Kind of part of me just wanted to come in and knock a bunch of stuff out, but I figured, hey, if I'm here, you can be here. My first job is actually fixing an oopsie. Yeah, I'm not perfect. So I had a customer 2 weeks ago. He came to me with a sample piece of pine flooring and he had water damage and he needed to replace this flooring and match it exactly. And it was kind of a unique tongue and groove setup. That's a big part of what I do here is custom work. Obviously it's in the name of my business, but matching stuff that people have, hard to find things that you can't just go buy somewhere. So I said, oh, no problem at all. He gave me this sample piece. He gave me the dimensions he needed. I cut it for him. He was happy with it. Took it home. A week later, he goes to install it. Well, oops, it was upside down. So I still have my setup piece here from the last time I did it. You can see how those tongue and groove are offset. Well, I don't know what I was thinking. I never asked him. I assumed what was the top of his sample piece just by the way it looked, but I never clarified. So when I set it up, I made it upside down for him. So I said, hey, no big deal. I'll redo it. you know, obviously I'm not charging. It was a miscommunication between us. So I'm not perfect, but I will make things right if I goofed it up. So I'm gonna get the molder set up for this custom tongue and groove because it's not the same setup as my regular tongue and groove. And I'm gonna get these two pieces knocked out for them. Well, that was a quick and easy fix. Let's go down to the mill. We're moving on to our next project. So the next project is gonna be some pine shiplap. Now, I know we've done pine shiplap on this channel before, but what I can't remember, because this all kind of becomes a blur to be honest with you, what I video and what I don't know if we've ever done rough face pine shiplap. So that's what this is. I have a sample here. Now this sample piece I have has a little bit of weathering on it, but it's your standard shiplap with just one rough face, one smooth face. And it's a neat look. So this is relatively small order, it's 20 some pieces. It's for a customer I did a bunch for last year and they liked it so much they wanted to expand where they have it. So this should be pretty quick and easy. We have to rip it to width and it goes straight up to the shop. No pre-planing on this stuff. It's going right through the molder. We're gonna cut it, it'll be done. Another quick, easy one to get knocked out. So obviously I have to change the molder from tongue and groove to shiplap. So I have to put in my shiplap knives here and these other heads, swap them out. I'm not gonna do a full tutorial on how you set this up. I actually have a video on the channel. If you're interested, you can look back and see Wood-Mizer MP360 molder setup and give you a step-by-step. I don't wanna bore 99.9% of you. If you are wondering how you do this on a four-sided molder and leave one side rough, you just don't run your bottom cutter head there. Bring the bed up a level, don't turn it on, let your rough side down. Because I have had problems with pine, these feed rolls will leave imprints if you leave it, you know, rough side up. So I just flip it over, run it rough side down, and just leave that cutter head off. So pretty simple. Not rocket science, but it'll take me maybe 10 minutes here to get switched around. There you have it, quick and easy, nothing to it. It's one of the simpler products I make, but it's one of my favorites. If you're into the rustic look, this rough sawn pine really makes a neat product. So we'll check another one off the list. We're done in this shop. We're going down to the other building. So the next thing we gotta do is unload a kiln and get it switched around to a new load, but I can't do that yet. I got nowhere to go with the wood. Let me show you guys something that is always a terrible decision, and I do it over and over again. I told you I've been really busy and kind of falling behind on a lot of stuff here. Well, what that really means is as stuff comes out of the kiln, I just throw it in here and I pull from it what I need, and I don't take the time to sort out everything else. So I've got a bunch of different stuff that all has a place and all has a purpose. I just haven't got to it yet. This is blocking my entranceway. I can't even get in here. I have to go around to the little door. So we got those two stacks of hardwood, that stack of pine that's waiting to go out. I got a stack of pine there still on stickers out of the kiln. I got a stack of poplar. We have to pull a stack of poplar out of the kiln. Very nice lumber. It all has a purpose. I just haven't gotten to it yet, and it's tying up a lot of space. So I got to pull this stuff out of this building and unsticker it and kind of consolidate it, put it where it needs to be, just so we can continue to work. We got to do work so we can continue to work. So sometimes it feels like I spend the majority of my life stickering on the stickering lumber. And I know to a lot of people that would seem like monotony, but I really don't mind it, honestly. It's one of the more relaxing things I do. It's good exercise and kind of mindless work. You can just do it and think about other things, listen to music, what have you. But like everything else, it does take time. Sorry if I got you a little too up close and personal with that stack of oak. Figured I'd give you a little bit of different view of the stuff going in the kiln. So you saw the poplar come out. That's some 4/4 oak that went in. I got to get this all buttoned up and started before I leave. And that stuff's all sold actually. I just have to kiln dry it and plane it. So I saved you the couple hours of sorting lumber here because, well, I know nobody likes to watch paint dry and it's not that interesting, but I got it all done. All that poplar you saw come out of the kiln, and along with the stuff that was already in here on stickers, is all unstickered. Nice looking stuff. I always try to keep nice poplar on hand because I use a lot of it, and that is some really nice poplar there. So I just about got my day in. I'm just gonna button up a few things around here and get out of here. Probably go home and do some grilling. That's one of my favorite things to do. So hope you guys had a good Labor Day weekend. I know you're seeing this after the fact. Thanks for sticking around here on a Saturday with me, and I'll catch you on the next one.